Well, welcome to Decision Pints. Today we've got a special guest, Chris Chattin, who's a maker. He has been in the Air Force as a pilot, got out, taught himself to code, created a company and a product, sold the company and product, is now building a plane, and it's great to have you here. We are cheersing to Barbarian Brewing Beta Wolf Sour IPA.
Here. Thanks for having me, Jason.
So you are a maker. You've always achieved impressive things, and really, thank you for your service.
No, dude, whatever.
Volunteer and do it. We appreciate it, and it's a special thing that we do value. But you've done a lot more than that. So let's step back and how have you decided to do these things that are great achievements?
Well, I don't know if I would call them great achievements, but it's more. Yeah, basically, I always kind of thought I could, when I was in the Air Force, I thought I could do things better than everyone else, or not everyone else, but like better than the way the current system was. So that was part of the decision to leave the Air Force. And I always wanted to be a football coach, and I ended up getting a spot on the staff at Boise State.
That's right.
And like through that, identified an admin process that was a pain in the butt around the camp registration. We were doing about 1,300 kids, just pencil and paper. Liability forms, checks everywhere, boxes stacked up in the office, and it was pretty dumb. And so we looked around for an online tool, or some way to register kids digitally, and there wasn't anything that really fit our particular use case, how we wanted it, and so ended up hacking together a system to solve that problem, and then from there split off and formed a business that was doing that for other coaches and camps, sports camps around the country.
Yeah, which is great, because I didn't even mention Boise State, which was there at really a special time in the football realm, which is exciting. Maybe you're the good luck charm.
I don't know about that.
But you had a problem, you solved it, but you didn't just solve it. You actually, when we first sat down and talked, maybe it was 2012, we were talking about different solutions, like, there's a WordPress, and you can create some plugins. I tried that. There's a Joomla. I tried that. We talked about Drupal. You tried that. And ultimately, you rewrote, rebuilt, redid, and now it exists in a Ruby on Rails platform that you engineered from the ground up. Every piece was really built from you, late nights, early mornings, weekends.
Yeah, a lot of stubbornness. And I mean, you talk about like achieving great things. And, I think a lot of people talk about that, but, really it's just not giving up and keep working on it until you figure it out. There's no like great intelligence or anything. It's kind of borrowing ideas from everyone and, standing on the shoulders of these open source giants. And like even people like you guys helping me out through the course of the development, like picking everyone's brain and everything.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, in the scale of things, you are relentless to a degree that is rarely seen. I know that you were passionate, and ultimately you sold the company, and that's a success. And now on to the next phase, consulting, building airplanes. What is next for you? Yeah,
right now, there's always that itch in the back of your mind to start another company. At this current time, I don't think I quite have the stomach to put in the hours and the effort that I do right now. But I just keep writing Ruby apps for people, and then once this plane is finished, I'll probably dive into another SaaS company.
Wow, excellent. And you are active. We see you at Trailhead. You're talking with startups. What are you involved in, and what advice do you have to those that are just getting started or think that it's too much to learn how to code, it's too much to start a company? What do you say?
Oh man, I always advise people to learn how to code. It's kind of interesting. You don't see too many people trying to start medical practices that aren't doctors, right? You don't see too many people that are trying to start, legal offices without being an attorney. And so people that are trying to start software companies without knowing how to program just seems a little bit crazy to me. You wouldn't get into the construction business if you haven't built something before, typically, right? And so I don't know. It just I made the mistake. I understand why people would think that way, and to run a company or a software company or a software as a service type company, you don't have to write the code, but it sure as heck helps to know how to. It helps you with hiring, firing, helps you be a better leader. You know when to push, when to back off a little bit, when to, just kind of what your guys are going through. If you've felt the pain of implementing a feature at 2 a.m. when the site's down and stuff like that,
And so you really matured in all aspects of, the ground up of learning your first bit of code and the lessons, and then managing servers and architecture, infrastructure behind it, and customers and design, and putting all that together to a true product. Let's just focus on the code for a second.
Okay. Yeah.
And let's say you made the decision, I'm going to write this. And where did you go? What was valuable for you in finding the path?
There's all kinds of things. A lot of people around town, like you guys, and several mentors, that kind of would nudge you in the right direction. Be like, hey, I want to implement this feature, and be like, oh, did you try this library, or did you look at this open source project? So you go like, oh, cool, thanks. You wouldn't even have known it would exist if it weren't for, just reaching out and asking people. Just a trial and error. Just working on it until you get it.
Sounds like the school of hard knocks.
Yeah, it really was, and that's kind of how it happens. It's not easy, everyone would do it if it was easy. What all helped? It was a lot of people, basically just a lot of other sources.
Sounds like drive, that perseverance and relentless nature you have, and it's great that you did. It's a great thing for Boise and the Treasure Valley as a role model, as an example of really building a software company and selling it and moving on to mentor and help others. We cheers all the great things that you're doing, and appreciate your time here, and look forward in the days ahead to the next ventures.
All right, thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Chris, and thanks everybody who joined.